The items you're going to need to change the oil on a Ford Focus will be an oil catch pan, a funnel, a rag, a jack stand, and you're going to need a jack unless you can fit underneath there. New oil filter, an oil change reminder, sticker, oil filter wrench, 13 millimeter wrench, 4.5 quarts of oil, and some gloves. First thing you want to do is place your vehicle in park, and next you want to set your parking brake. It's absolutely essential that if you have the vehicle jacked up that you use some jack stands. Do not go underneath there with nothing supporting the vehicle other than the jack. Since I'll be jacking the vehicle up a little bit so I have more room for filming purposes, you want to block the rear wheels with some blocks of wood. Now that the vehicle is jacked up, I placed it on a jack stand on a frame member, and now I'm going to lay a piece of cardboard down and go underneath and unscrew the drain pan, the oil drain pan plug. I'm under the vehicle. Here is the oil pan. I have a container to catch the waste oil. This one happens to be a 13 millimeter. You want to unscrew the oil drain plug counterclockwise. Now that the oil is drained out of the oil pan, we'll put the plug back in. You want to tighten it in by hand. And then once it's down, we're going to tighten it up with a wrench. Give it about a quarter turn. Should be about 30 foot-pounds or so. And after that, we're going to go up here and remove the oil filter. Placed a small oil filter wrench on there to help break it loose. Please be careful. After the engine has been running, the oil and surrounding areas can exceed 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to ensure that you don't get burnt. So just loosen up the oil filter with the wrench, and then it's advisable to wear a glove and then spin the oil filter off. Now that it's loose, I will go and get a glove on. After the oil filter is removed, you want to ensure that the gasket from the oil filter is not on the mating surface. If it is, your new oil filter won't seat properly. It'll cause the oil to leak, and once the oil leaks out, it has the potential to completely ruin your engine. So it's vitally important that that gasket is removed. And before we install the new filter, we will put a small thin film of oil on the gasket. We're going to wipe this mating surface down and fill the oil filter up with a little bit of oil. Now that the surface is wiped down, I'm going to install the oil filter. We're going to tighten it down till it makes contact with the mating surface, and then go 3/4 of a turn more. You can do that by hand. If you need a little more leverage, you can put your oil filter wrench on there and just give it a little more snugness. You don't want to go more than 1 full turn after it meets the mating surface, because it could crack that gasket and potentially have an oil leak that would ruin your engine. Now with the new oil filter installed, we can take the vehicle off the jack stand. We'll go on top and fill it up with oil. The oil required for this vehicle is 5W30. This is the Zetec engine, and it takes 4 1/2 quarts of oil. So what we're going to do here is remove this oil cap here. Place 4 1/2 quarts of oil in there, and then we're going to take the dipstick tube, or the dipstick, out of the tube, clean it off, put it in, and double check that the oil is at the correct fill amount. And then after we do a little cleanup and properly dispose of the oil and oil filter, you're all done. Lastly, we'll take and record the mileage and set a oil change reminder for the windshield. And you can pick these up at most automotive stores, usually for free. And if not, just write it on a piece of tape and put it in the corner of the windshield to remind you of when you need to change your oil again.